Hey everyone, thanks for joining me once again. If you have not been here before, my name is Sandra, and today we are going to concentrate on a no makeup look. And we're also fitting in how to apply individual eyelashes. So now, just as a disclaimer for this video, I have never applied individual eyelashes before, so we are going to be learning together. So I still have a variety of makeup products in front of me. It is not going to be a full face by any means, but it may be more makeup than the average person would call a no makeup look. So I'll tell you what we're going to start out with. I've already moisturized my skin, which is always very important. I think that if you're not wearing foundation, your skincare routine is a lot more important than if you were wearing foundation. So we're still going to prime our skin, and I'm actually going to mix two of them together. So you may say, well, it's a no makeup look. We're not putting foundation on our skin. Why prime? You should always prime your face. I'm going to be using these two together. So this is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. If you do have any open pores, this will make them look a little bit less magnified. It's going to blur them and make them kind of disappear. And this Becca Backlight filter is going to give your skin a little bit of a glow and just make it look really natural and pretty. So we are going to mix both of them, and in that case you don't need as much, just a pea-sized drop of the baby skin. And my Becca one is actually running out, so I'm going to squeeze as much as I can out of the tube. And this is actually just, it's not a sample size, it's a smaller size, so it's a little bit cheaper, a little bit more affordable, especially if you're not sure about a product and you want to try it out. Sometimes it pays to get the smaller sizes, but a lot of the times if you know that you're really going to like a product, you're always going to get more product, a better value for your money if you buy the bigger size. It's just like when you buy perfume, if you buy it like a 50 ml or a 30 ml, you pay a lot more per fluid ounce rather than just going for the 100 ml. Okay, so we're pressing into the skin at the same time as smoothing the Becca Backlight filter all over. And I should also say that today for my moisturizer, I did use an SPF moisturizer. I think, and I mean, everyone has a different skincare routine, but for me, in summer, I think it'll be more crucial to wear a higher SPF moisturizer, only because I do spend a lot of time outside, and I'm really trying to minimize tanning my skin, like especially my face, because you know it is proven that you get more wrinkles when you've had exposure to the sun and to UVB rays. Okay, so we're looking good there. So the next thing that I personally myself will do is I still cover my under eyes with a concealer. So we're going to skip the foundation, but when you pick a concealer, if you have really noticeable spots you want to cover or under eyes for a natural look, you go a shade closer to your skin tone. So this is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Natural Beige. Usually if I'm doing a full face of makeup and I have foundation already on, I will use the shade Vanilla because I like that brightening effect under the eyes. And this will still brighten my dark circles. For those of you who don't have as dark of circles as I do, or you don't feel the need to cover that up, you can skip this step. It's not crucial. But for me, you can tell. So before we go any further, I just want to say that I will put a little bit on my eyelids just to cover the veins, but this is where my steps kind of change. I usually apply this with my beauty blender or my beauty sponge, but today for a no makeup look, I don't really want to get concealer on my eyelashes, so I'm going to go in with my ring finger. The reason we use our ring finger, we're just going to blend it out, is because it doesn't apply as much pressure as your pointer finger or any other finger for that matter, and it's just a little bit more gentle around the eye area. I'm also going to put some around my nose. I have some veins I want to cover up. So we'll put some there. And also even redness. This is more of a yellow based concealer, as you can kind of tell. So it will cover up a lot of the redness if you want to do that as well. And I've already probably applied more than necessary. But just dab it in with your finger and until it kind of dissolves. So again, I know this is a no makeup look, but for these types of looks, the point is not to look like you're actually wearing makeup. So you're trying to get rid of your blemishes or get rid of the darkness or spots on your face, but you want it to look like you're not wearing anything. However, when it comes to concealer, and this is what I'll always stand by, I can't just leave it like this once it's blended in, because you're going to get creases and people are going to be able to tell that you're wearing makeup. So you always want to go in with a setting powder, and you still want to set it. And you can go in with a more natural powder, and I'm not quite done blending yet, but I'll tell you what powder I'm using. So it's this Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder in Translucent. And I'm also very stuck on translucent powders that are not white, because you will get a white cast to your skin and you do not want that. And that would be in photography or videos or whatever. Okay, so it looks fairly blended in. I'm just going to dab over the spots that I decided to cover up today as well. I've got a couple of sunspots that aren't pretty looking. And I think that's pretty good. So just for future reference, you could have applied just a tad bit less than I did. And then if you need more, you can add more as you go. Sometimes it's easier to just add as you go rather than plump a bunch on and then find out you've got too much. Okay, but you can tell that, so I don't really have a bright under eye, but that's okay because that's not really the look you're going for if you want a natural look. You want something a bit more blended into your skin tone. And now we're going to set it. So I'm going to use my Sigma F06 powder sweep brush. This guy here. I'm going to go into my powder and I'm just going to put it in here like this and just use the natural holes that are in the container there. Put a tiny bit on your brush. Make sure you have no creasing going on there. And apply a bit to your eyelid and under the eye. So the trick is just to gently, and when I say gentle, you have to have a really gentle touch because you don't want to move the concealer once applied. And sometimes what I like to do is just use small circular motions. It's kind of like if you've ever done your nails and you've used, like there's the mirror powder that looks like your nails look like a mirror, or even dip powder for your nails. When you're brushing it away, you want all of the particles of the powder to settle into every single crease, so it's laying in a single layer on top of your nail or your skin for that matter. So this is kind of what this does. It's like a really good process just to make sure that every single part of that concealer is set down and it's not going anywhere. If you haven't used enough powder, your concealer will still move around on you and you'll have lots of creasing later on in the day. And if that happens, sometimes like if you touch your under eye once the powder is on, it'll be really nice and soft and smooth, and you can take your ring finger and just gently blend it out again, and it looks really, really nice and natural once again. Okay, and when you're also doing this, make sure you look up so you get into every nook and cranny. I'm going to put a little bit everywhere I put my concealer. Moving on to the next eye, again, we're just going to blend out any creases that may have formed while we were doing the other eye. And go in with our powder brush and apply a little bit of product and just give it small sweeping motions. And you can hold the brush back at the end if you want a more delicate touch. And I'm looking up and I'm blending under the eye. And if you have a really oily T-zone, you can go in and just add some powder to those spots. I don't even have combination skin, especially in winter. I have very dry skin, but I know that for those people with oily skin, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to find products that work for you. Okay, so we're done there. And now, because we haven't applied any other product on our face really, we're actually going to go in with this Too Faced Bronzed Peach Melting Powder. I did show this in my very first official product haul. So it just looks like this. And this is kind of like a cream to powder formula. You can use powder, it's still going to look natural. Just go really light with it. I'm going to use my beauty sponge. I don't really want to have it on my fingers. I'm going to apply it in the product, just like that. And I'm going to put it on the spots that if I were out in the sun, where it would hit me first. So I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead. Just going to see what that looks like. Not too much, and just dab it really, really gently. It's kind of giving me a little bit of a glow, and it's really pretty, very natural looking. Okay, the same thing with the tops of my cheekbones and your nose, because as we all know, usually the bridge of your nose gets tanned first, and that's where a lot of people get burnt. And as I'm doing this natural makeup look, I think this would be a really nice, pretty natural look for summer. I was talking about not using that much makeup. I mean, you're not going to be putting tons of makeup on your face unless, of course, you know, you're going out for a date night or it's evening and it's a little bit cooler. But during the daytime, when you're out, you know, running around and it's like plus 30 or almost 40 degrees Celsius, your makeup's not going to stay very long. And even if it does stay and you use some really good setting spray or like a 24-hour foundation, sometimes it's just nice to go without tons of makeup. Just to change it up. Okay, so you really can't tell that I have much bronzer on my face, and that's kind of the look we're going for. We don't want it to look like we're wearing makeup. But next I'm going to go in with my blush, and this is again the Too Faced Melting Powder. And this is so peachy. So I picked this shade because it's a little bit more of a pink as opposed to a powder pink. This would be a closer shade to a natural blush on your cheeks. And I would just kind of put it on the apples of your cheeks, so when you smile, I'm going to stop there and we're just going to blend it in. And you can turn your sponge around, so here's where I've applied it. And you can turn it around, or you can tap it in with your fingers too. So I'm just going to turn it around to a clean area and keep blending. And this just makes it look like you've got a natural flush going on. So the next step that I always will do, my thing is mascara and brows. So I need to have maybe not a full dark brow, like I can use a lighter shade of brow pencil, but I need to have that definition. My eyebrows are not, they're pretty much non-existent. So I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Brow Whiz, but I'm using soft brown today. Usually I use a medium or chocolate. And we will finish up the brows and we'll get back. Hi, okay, so brows are done. I haven't applied the clear brow gel yet, but I've just done kind of a quick brow. It's not super precise, but I don't want like a dark, laid down, heavy eyebrow. So I'm taking some of my Anastasia clear brow gel, and I'm just going to delicately swipe through the hairs. And again, at the first part of the brow, you want it to kind of go up, so you sweep up, and then the brow, the tail end of it, just kind of in a downward fashion. And I know I've said this before, but the brows are a very important area of the face. It does give you that face framing look and just kind of a complete look. It's kind of like the Mona Lisa, because, you know, the one thing she's missing are her eyebrows. Okay, so there you go. Done and done. So the next step is our eyelashes. So like I said, I love applying mascara, but we are going to try to skip it and just apply these lashes and see how it looks. If it looks terrible, I may apply a little bit of mascara over top, but we'll see. So it does, the instructions actually say to apply a little bit of the glue to a little piece of foil and dip each lash in the glue. But I'm going to try to use this Sephora brush tip lash adhesive. It is white and it dries clear. So usually for a strip lash, especially going out late at night, I really like to use my House of Lash glue. My House of Lash glue. It's black and it makes sure that there's no skin showing through the lash and your lash line. But again, we're going for a more natural look, so we're going to try it out. So these are short lashes up here and a little bit longer down here. They're medium. So I'm going to start, I think we'll start on the outer corner. I was going to do the inner, but we're going to try on the outer. So all the time, again, the inner lashes here are always shorter than the lashes out here. So you want to pick a little bit longer lash. And again, Walmart, when I went there, they only had 2 different selections of individual lashes. These ones and lengthening lashes. So these are going to give me a little bit more of a full look. So all I'm going to do is take my tweezer. These are the ones by Real Techniques and they work really, really well. I'm going to go in and I'm going to pull out one of the little lashes here. And I'm going to hold it with a tweezer and try to handle this with only 2 hands and put a little bit of glue on the edge of the lash. So normally you let this sit for a couple of seconds, but we're going to go in and see what it looks like. So just above the lashes, you might have to hold it there for a couple of seconds with the tweezer. That did not work like I thought it was going to work. I just noticed that the hairs are just kind of like going in every which direction. So we're going to try it again. Maybe I'll put a little bit more glue on this time and see. I might put a little bit further down the stem of the lash and just kind of let it sit on my natural lashes and see what happens. Because if you leave it like that, it's going to look a little crazy. So we just want it to fall back on our natural lash. Okay, still looks a bit crazy. We're going to go in and try another one. So I'm going to take the same length, the medium length, and hopefully all the lashes stay together. So this one looks a little bit better. again, I'm going to apply a little bit of glue. So now I'm holding it with my fingers here, just to the bottom of the lash, and gently set it against my natural lash just on the lash line. Maybe we'll move that to the end here. I'm not really liking how this looks. This lash, I just removed it. It looks ridiculous. Maybe it's the type of lashes because these are really dark. Okay, we'll keep that one on. It's like this cluster of dark lashes. I don't know, you guys. I'm not sure if I like this. We'll try another one. Just going to add a little bit of glue to the bottom. But with lashes, it's practice makes perfect. So I think you just have to keep practicing, and it's frustrating because these are individual lashes and they're really tiny to work with. I know a lot of people say that they have more trouble putting on strip lashes, but honestly, because I already know how to do it, I feel like it's easier. But I do see how this could give you a more natural look because you're putting each individual lash on at a time. Okay, so we're just going to set that down on top of the other lash. So you can kind of see it's giving me a bit of a wispy end look there. Still doesn't quite look natural to me. Alright, I'll try one more, kind of towards the middle. And it does say to let them air dry and refrain from touching your lashes after you've applied them, which is obvious because even when you've applied makeup to your face, you should always refrain from touching your face because your makeup will just come right off. Okay, we're just going upward toward the middle of the lid now. Yeah, I really don't think I like how this looks, you guys. It honestly looks like little spider legs. Either I'm not applying them right, or maybe this is too dark for my lashes. I know my lashes look really good with like black mascara, but... Or maybe you need to apply mascara first. Maybe we'll do that to the other eye and see what that looks like. I can try applying some lashes in between. And I would never apply lashes to the bottom lash line, just the top. And that's funny. Here we are applying individual lashes, and if the look doesn't work out, then this video is going to be an epic failure. Okay, so I've applied a little bit of mascara. And I'm only going to do this one coat. And we're going to put some of these fake lashes right in there and see how it looks with mascara on. so I'm just taking another of the medium size lash. Yeah, because you can see this side looks like an epic disaster. Like, doesn't look good at all. Okay, so we're putting a little bit of glue just on the end of the lash. I hope you guys can see that. I'm going to take my tweezers, hold it like this, and aim for a spot in between, oops, my regular lashes. Okay, alright. You can see that looks a bit more natural. Probably what we should have done to start off, hey? Okay, so we're just going to pull these guys off because obviously it's not working for me. I'll add some mascara to this side. Let's add these lashes we just pulled off on this eye here, and we'll add it to the left. And then I'll take you guys off camera. We'll put mascara on the right hand side. And then we'll come back and we'll add more lashes to that eye. I can't do this left-handed. Okay. This one's going more towards the middle. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I could see it just making my lashes looking fuller and thicker with the mascara. I thought these would apply a lot easier than they are, actually. And I mean, I haven't worn these for any length of time, and this is the first pack I've tried, you guys, but I think my opinion is leaning more towards, honestly, if you want like a fabulous night out and you want a dramatic long lash, I feel like it's a lot easier to stick with a strip lash, because once you start getting it, they are a lot easier to put on than these. And I could totally see it if, say, you're out and about during the middle of the day. Like, that looks cute, but what happens if they fall off? Like, I don't really trust this glue. I don't use this glue on a daily basis. Like, if I'm wearing a strip lash, it's going to be House of Lashes. Because for now you can see it in the purpose of the video, but I mean, what if you're out and about and you're talking to a cute boy and then all of a sudden you're, oh, I have an itchy eye, and then you've got like this lash coming off and it's hanging on your face. That would be so embarrassing. Okay, so we're going to come back. I'm going to have my mascara on this one, and then we'll play around to some of the smaller inside lashes and then finish up this eye. Okay, you guys, we're back. So I've added mascara to the lower lash line as well as this eye. I mean, I don't know what it is about my eyelashes. I always feel like when I put mascara on, this eye looks a lot better, and even for fake lashes for that matter, this one always looks better than this one. Like, these lashes are longer or something, because right now both eyes kind of look the same, and these have the individual falsies, these ones don't. And that looks really pretty. If it was simple as that, maybe it's just because I started with the left-hand side first. And I think I feel like I have to put more on the left side now, because the right side looks so fabulous. Alright. You know what? Maybe I've changed my mind. Maybe it's just a matter of playing around with them more. The same with strip lashes. I mean, it took me probably about 10 tries to get it looking fairly decent. And the good thing about this clear glue is that if you put it on and you make a mistake, you can take it off and it still looks good. But if you don't have like a black liquid liner on the top line and you use the black lash glue and you make a mistake, you're going to have a big dab of black glue sitting on your lid. It doesn't look pretty, and it's really frustrating if you've already got your makeup look on. And I'll show you what other lashes I bought. I know I showed it in my makeup haul, but I think that these would you'd probably have a better luck with these ones. So these are also by Ardell. This is a starter kit, so it comes with the remover and the glue. But these lashes compared to these, so you can see the difference, these ones look more of like a lengthening, and I think these would probably work better. because they're not as thick and they won't be as noticeable when you put them on. But these ones are so thick that if you don't have thick black lashes, that you could tell instantly that when you put them on. Like this eye looks like it's a mess. This one, meh, looks pretty good. Alright, you guys, I'm spending way too much time on these lashes. So I might go ahead and fix this one up a bit, but I mean, if you look at that eye, it doesn't look that bad. So I think maybe with just a bit more practice, it'll look pretty good. So with this makeup look, the final step, now a lip, I like to have just either a lip balm or a clear gloss, and sometimes I will go in and define my lips with a natural lip liner, but today I'm just going to use my Buxom full-on plumping lip polish, and this is the shade Sandy, kind of like my name. It's my namesake lip gloss. It's kind of a neutral pinky toned color, but still very neutral, and it plumps your lips, which is good. Just make sure you don't swallow any, because then you get this tingle on the back of your throat. It's really creepy. There we go. So that is the natural look that I had for today. Now, you can still see your skin. I mean, we haven't even applied any foundation. I mean, if you've got problem spots and you need a little bit more coverage, I would recommend going in with foundation. Just don't put anything on the eyes. Keep the eyes natural, keep the lips natural, and just apply a light blush. And for a look like this, I would not even apply a highlighter, even though these cute little bronzing, like the melting bronzing powders and the highlighter powder that I have, I think that would give a nice natural glow and it wouldn't be too sparkly, too shiny. But today we're just going to leave it as it is, and that's it. So let me know what you guys liked about this video. Like I said, if you have any hints or tips or tricks for those individual lashes, let me know. I'm going to keep playing around with them and see, you know, different styles. Maybe if we go to Sally's Beauty Supply, maybe they'll have different ones in there. So, but until next time, you guys, thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, and you can hit the bell button down below if you'd like to get notified every single time I post a video. And we'll see you next time. Take care.